All right, just going on the theme there. Tennessee, of course, plays first. They play on Thursday night on SEC Network. They're a 35.5-point favorite over Bowling Green. And everybody on Rocky Top just wants to see this offense in motion, see how it works, see if we finally know now. Well, if you've been listening to this show, you know Joe Milton, starting quarterback for Tennessee, but Josh Heupel confirmed that on Monday. Let's kick it over to Josh Heupel, who talks about that decision and why Joe Milton was the right man for the job.
I mentioned, at the beginning of training camp that we thought we'd have a starting quarterback by game week. Joe Milton will be our starting quarterback. Talked to those guys earlier about that. Not naming a backup. Believe in what those guys are ready to do, given the opportunity. They've continued to grow and compete, all three of them together. Joe's had an opportunity to take a bunch of the reps with the ones here as of late and has continued to develop, but believe in the other two guys as well. And they've handled the meeting room, handled the practices the right way. Excited about that room as a collective group.
What was the deciding factor that set Joe Milton apart from Harrison Bailey and Hendon Hooker as the starting quarterback?
I don't think there's just one thing. First of all, I truly mean this, and sometimes coaches get up and just say it. But I really do love that group, man. They've continued to grow. They push each other. They're really positive with each other. Our team and our offensive group sees and feels that energy. All three of them have a positive effect on the offensive group and the team as a whole. They've handled that throughout this entire process, which is really difficult to do. I really believe that all three of them have an opportunity to go play at a really high level given the opportunity. At the end of the day, it felt like Joe, just his grasp of our offense in a short amount of time, the growth during the middle portion of training camp, his acceleration in what we're doing, some physical attributes, decision-making, led us to put the ball in his hands here this first ball game.
Josh, when did you sort of have the realization that Joe is going to be your guy, and sort of what was the tipping point there?
He's practiced with the one group here for, probably the last 7 to 10 days, somewhere in that. I think we came out of a second scrimmage and felt like he had taken some positive steps in a shorter amount of time as far as time on task. Some of the other guys being here through spring continued to break up those reps pretty much evenly. Joe got a majority with the first team offense there for the last part of training camp and here into this game week.
All right, so hey, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, this is the ultimate swinging for the fences. And again, make no mistake, I did not think Joe Milton was going to be the starting quarterback leading up to training camp. I didn't see how he was going to come in and without the spring, just getting in. Of course, maybe I should have recognized the fact that you don't bring in a quarterback if you're happy with the ones you currently got. So this is a gamble based on what I've seen of Joe Milton. He's got the huge arm. He's looks like a damn Greek god. He's built like a brick shithouse here, but and he can run, but he's very inconsistent, not accurate. These are things that could, we look at games like Pitt and South Carolina and Vanderbilt. If your quarterback's turning it over and he can't is very inaccurate with his passes, those teams will beat you. Now, if he's hitting the deep ball and he's playing turnover free, maybe you sneak up, maybe you beat a Florida. Hell, Shane's talking about beating Florida. Basilio's talking about that game. I'm certainly not ready to go that far, but hell, if Joe Milton is the next Matt Corral, and who's to say he's not, that gives Tennessee a fighting shot in a lot of these games that maybe they weren't considered, to be threats in previously. So, just something to think about. And it's interesting that Josh Heupel, like I said, I think he's swinging for the fences here. I think Hendon Hooker would have been a lot more conservative option, a lot safer option. But, maybe can't make all the throws that Josh Heupel needs for his offense to succeed. So something to watch here on Rocky Top to see, hell, if Joe Milton struggles against Bowling Green, it's not a great sign for the rest of the season. So, hey, they're rolling it out there with Joe. Heisman Joe, as Shane's certainly going to be calling him on Thursday night here, but I cannot wait to see it, and I'm glad that we finally have that behind us. The world's worst kept secret there on Rocky Top. Joe Milton going to be starting for the Vols this season.